Hey guys, we're back again with another podcast. I think we're going to call it Between Two Berms.
That's a great name.
Right? Not ferns, berms, right?
I love it.
Between Berms. Okay, sorry. I'll probably cut that out. We're here with a special guest. We got Rhett King in from Montana.
Mr. Maztech.
Mr. Maztech. That's his middle name, maybe. Rhett, I met him in our store here. I remember it was a busy day, and this unassuming guy was just waiting patiently in line, and I said, "Can I help you, sir?" And he said, "I'm Rhett. I'm from." I go, "Oh, another sales guy." Ugh. He goes, "From Masttech." I'm like, "Oh, right this way, sir." Like, hey, and I had just gotten my my unit. I think I'd actually bought a 2K. Then immediately after, Hunter, our buddy, goes, "I'm gonna get a 15." I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay, I will too." So
Rhett, why don't you just kind of give us like a quick high-level overview? What is Maztech Industries?
Yeah,
what do you guys do?
So Maztech Industries are primarily focused in obviously defense products in the market. We have kind of two big commercial products right now. We have what's called a fire control system, which is the item that we launched first, actually. A little bit lesser known, but it's essentially a heads-up display. It's projecting a digital image into your low-power variable scope and giving you a firing solution in a digital display, which is pretty cool. The one we're more well-known for is our weapon-mounted laser rangefinder. That was launched last May timeframe. A variety of different versions of it, but beyond that, the company's been around for I think it's a little over 5-6 years now. First few years were spent doing development. We still do some side work doing DoD, defense type contracting, development products or projects where we're essentially developing technology for agencies and people. A lot of those don't end up seeing the light of day.
yeah,
Right, of course.
They're development programs where they come with a requirement, and we develop technology, and then we sell usually a handful of prototypes to those individuals as part of that contract, and then they move on to the next thing that they dream up.
Yeah,
right?
that's cool.
So realistically, everyone's going to know you guys from your civilian products, right?
Yeah.
The
So
fire control system, and then the X4, which is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, so it's like a family of products. So we call it the X4, and that really is kind of a prefix. There's an X4 FCS, and then there's the X4 LRF, and they're meant to work together. And other products, to come at some point.
Yeah, there's some stuff I'm looking forward to.
But yeah, I think the one that's hit the hardest in the consumer market is our weapon-mounted laser rangefinder, just because people already knew what a weapon-mounted laser rangefinder was and how it functioned.
Yeah, I'd say probably like 5 years ago, they were kind of unattainable, really, for your average guy.
Because it was like Vortex popped up.
That was like the real first real attainable one for your average guy was the Impact 4000.
Yeah.
And then they started to come out with a little bit more, but I think the 15K is by far the most capable civilian model that you can get. I mean, I'd bet it even rivals some older generation,
absolutely
military grade models,
or even current ones for that matter. I think the reason I really want to sit down, since you're in town and we could pick your brain here. I just was at an event where I had this rifle on display for some public potential customers at like a big park, like it was outdoor. It was kind of weird. It's like a playground, and there's this
gun sitting there,
kind of like, oh, there's police there too. It's okay. But I had a lot of funny comments and questions. One of which was this guy that clearly didn't own one. I'll leave it at that. He goes, "That's a rangefinder, right?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "It's like $1,000, right?" I'm like, "No, I wish it was." But I think there's a lot of confusion around it. Even like I had my 10-year-old daughter with me, and she doesn't know much. Like she should know more. My fault, but she was telling someone at one point, "Yeah, you got to look through this screen and you can see the target." Like, no, that's not how it works. So very, very basic level, I wanted to help the viewers understand what this does, what it doesn't do at a very elementary level, and then we'll work out from there. But first and foremost, the main function of it is to measure distance.
Yeah.
Right.
To range targets. Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
And in a typical, a lot of people are more familiar with the handheld units, and they have a little small lens and
Yep.
slight magnification to it, and you'll hold it up and you'll fire the range
Mm-hmm.
through that. Where ours differs is that it's meant to be weapon mounted, right? And that's the big difference. And what we do is we co-align the lasers to the scope, so you're actually aiming the rangefinder via the scope.
Yeah. And I think I remember the Silencer Radius was another one.
Yeah.
That was
That's
super
older,
amazing
yeah.
at the time. I've seen it actually for sale recently for a very low price, but doesn't get me. But basically, I've learned, and I have this. This is mine, and you basically make the laser that projects out of here parallel to the middle of the scope. So it's basically, a lot of people might think, okay, so they cross sected 100 like your bullet. No.
Parallel 0.
Parallel. Yep. So it's that far apart at the gun, and it's that far apart at 100 and 1,000 and everywhere.
Yep.
That way, it's just, and the way I think of it is, if I'm aiming at the target, it's about this big, I got it, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. If you
Yeah.
put a circle around that scope diameter plus all the lasers,
Right.
it's in that range. But that's a really important aspect of it. Some people will say, oh, no, I'm just going to point the vis laser directly at the center of my reticle. And it's like, no, you don't want to do
No,
that.
no.
The vis
Because
laser
it'll-
is
It's
offset.
gonna cross.
It'll
Yeah.
cross, and
Yeah.
it's offset. But
Yeah.
we spend, there's quite complicated processes that we spend in-house in order to co-align
Right.
these
Oh, I can only
lasers.
imagine.
So inside the unit, there's actually 3 different lasers. You have the transmitter laser, then you also have a visible laser, and you have an infrared laser.
Right. By transmitting laser, you mean the actual ranging.
Right. The one that does the
Yes.
ranging.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do is we, within an optical bench, co-align those 3 lasers.
Mhm.
And then you can steer them as a group all together.
Right. Like
And you
one
want,
housing. That's cool.
in one housing, and you want that group to then be co-aligned
Yeah.
with your scope.
Yeah, you don't want them all independent. You want them all
Right.
together, and then line with your scope together.
Right. And that's why when we send the product out, we send it out with a reflective target,
Mhm.
and it has that offset
Yep.
measured to where
Yep.
it should be. Right.
And this isn't true for every mount and diving board and rings and everything, but we have agreed that 0.8 mils up and 0.2 mils left is about right. That might be pretty
Yep.
almost universal.
And if somebody wants to try to better align it, you could take those measurements. It's not too difficult to do. We have
Yeah, we do.
little dash marks that we put on the side of the rangefinder, and you can measure from that dash mark, which
Center.
is the center line
Yep.
of those lasers, to the center line of your scope.
Yep.
If you want to
Yeah.
really fine tune
Yeah.
it.
I may or may not have done that.
Yeah. No, we did. Yeah, we did too. You're basically converting a linear measurement
Yep.
here to an angular measurement at a certain distance, and that represents this number of mils. So
Yep.
it's sort of hard to convert that in your head, but basically just what is this length at 100 in mils.
Yep.
So aside from ranging though too, what people, I mean, I have people all the time asking about these because they see my videos or my social media stuff, but they go, okay, it's telling the distance.
Now what?
Because that's what the radius did, is just distance. It's like your loophole little boop, boop, you know, the guy
That's what
there.
people are used to, is just, handheld rangefinder that just
Yeah.
says
It's
350 yards.
Yeah,
But
350 yards.
That's what percent of what this does, like 10% of what it does.
It's part of it.
Yeah. I don't know what
It's
percent.
only,
Yeah.
it's a part of it, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are partnered with AV on this, right?
Yep. So we have Applied Ballistics solver included in the package, and that's going to do the heavy lifting, taking you from a range distance to a solution,
Yeah.
essentially, and giving you what that dope or what you need to dial on your scope in order to be able to hit at that distance. And that's in addition to the fact that we have all the environmental sensors.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
on
atmospherics.
board, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
Having them on board like
Yep.
that is
So
awesome.
it's pulling that all in, you put in your bullet information, your weapon profile, speeds, all that type of stuff, and then it's going to be picking up environmentals for you, and then it's going to do the math.
So it's just a beautiful kind of orchestra of technology and features, because I think we were going to talk about these other devices, but these other devices are weather meters in their own way. They're just not mounted to your weapon.
Right.
And it's not the push button, do what it says. It kind of sort of is, but it's literally in your left or right eyeball,
Right.
depending, right?
The speed of application of a weapon mounted laser rangefinder
Yes.
is magnitudes of times greater than using a Kestrel or LRF binos.
Yep. I'll also add the word precision, because Hunter and I just shot the sniper match in Montana this past weekend, and there was one part where I was on binos, those right there, and looking for targets. I found it quickly. I ranged it. I said 550. He was on the Masttec. Goes, I got 380. Like, it's probably you. And I went down. Yep, 380. Go. So he was just pinpoint on it, because it's just you're using a reticle on with crazy zoom potentially, where I'm using 12 extras is fine, but there's sometimes too you don't know exactly where the laser is pointing on those, and you got to kind of figure out where it's really going to read. With this, it's a little guesswork. Plus, the 15K specifically is just,
the laser is insane.
It works every time I push the button. So good job on that.
Yes, that's good.
I think the confusion I get with my customers here a lot too is, okay, I'm going to shoot PRS, get me a Maztech 15K. And it's not that I don't want to sell one, because I think it's probably the coolest technology I own, period.
100%.
Yeah,
it's the coolest gun gadget I have and will ever have.
Yeah. But I don't want them to think I'm going to shoot PRS, so I need a Maztech, because it's not right. Unless you do it on a spotting scope. I'll say that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a cool way to set it
that's
up.
a good application for it. If you put that on a spotting scope.
And I guess maybe explain why that is. Like, why not PRS?
For me, with that game, the big difference is you have known distances.
Setup time.
Yeah. They're giving you, match directors are giving you those distances. Sure, is it always good to confirm those?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to confirm those. And that's why the application of maybe one of our rangefinders on a spotting scope would be a great application. You stand off the line, range the targets, just confirm everything and be good to go. But on the clock, you're not going to range every target in a PRS match.
No way.
You time out.
You time out.
Yeah, you get 90 seconds, 12
too many,
shots.
right?
Yeah.
There's too much going on, and so that's not the right fit.
Exactly.
So if it's not the right fit in like a PRS kind of environment where it's like a prescribed course of fire, you know exactly what's going on, and your only job as a shooter is beep, execute plan.
Yeah.
When does the Maztec shine? We know when it shines, but I want to hear from your perspective.
I mean,
where is it that the Maztec then shines?
I mean, really, for me, it's in a match setting, it has to be unknown distances.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to shine. When you're on the clock and you're trying to range stuff.
Yeah.
That makes all the difference in the world.
Sure.
Whether it's the sniper type matches, whether it's even now, I'm really starting to be convinced that a NRL Hunter match, it's a great application as well.
I agree.
One thing that I've noticed, and not to get into comparisons immediately, but when you're ranging the target via your scope, you're already in a position to then dial the dope and shoot it.
Right. Or hold it and shoot it.
And what I've noticed personally as I'm shooting these NRL Hunter matches is that I'm ranging a lot of the time via binos, because that's what I've seen done, and that's how I learned to do it. But
same,
you're ranging it here, and then you still have to go and build a position.
You've got to transfer all the data from your binos
to an arm
board, and then manage all that.
And then you're also having to rebuild the position, and then refine the target, and then engage.
Yep.
I took an individual out with me to a match a few weeks ago, and I loaned him a 15K to use. It was the first
mind-blowing experience.
And he's offering that for all of you too.
Yeah. But it was great. Number one, great shooter. He has a lot of skills. Big hunter. But he took to it like a fish to water.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't know any other way to do it. He's never used binos doing it, so he just figured, okay, well, I'll put the target in, and I watched him. He was finishing stages with a minute and a half left, because he would just flop down into position. He would range, dial, engage, range the next one, dial, engage, and have all this time left over. So I've been more sold after witnessing. That was his first NRL Hunter match.
It's one thing that I've noticed with the Maztec is that it's so intuitive to use if you have an understanding of like the profile setup, right? That's always a little bit overwhelming for new people because there's so much data that goes on. But you guys make it super easy because it's just like new ammo, fill out these boxes. New gun, fill out these boxes. Done.
Easy.
Done.
So easy.
So for those of you who don't know too, there's an app that we put in our information in, and it Bluetooths into it just so that it's actually using real information. One of the things that I have a really hard time with in my shoes is customers come all the time and say, I want a custom gun and give me a custom turret. I'm like, oh, like
maybe not.
It's okay, but if you're shooting a little further or super high, super low,
different
super cold,
altitudes,
yeah,
different temperatures, very
like,
weather
we
conditions.
get this so much. We're like, it kind of hurts a little bit, and it's our level of expectations of our precision rifles is pretty high, and a lot of hunters. I mean, they're great, and I'm not knocking hunters. I'm one of them, but just the way that this operates, it's not really a guess anymore. It's kind of like this
next
is math
level
now.
of precision.
Yes.
For me, the turrets are really valuable if it's a consistent situation.
Yes.
Right. If you know that I always shoot in Montana in this unit at this altitude
on October 3rd
on opening day.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Just throw it on there and roll. But for those that are competing and shooting matches and going to different locations, different temperatures and altitudes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
A solution like a Kestrel or, our Maztec, is a better option.
Yeah.
And it's so much more, it's like magnitudes more precise. One thing though, that if you guys don't know, a lot of states have restrictions on hunting specific animals with the weapon mounted laser rangefinder. So make sure you know your state laws. Don't just go slap one on and go out and shoot animals.
Check your regs.
You might be getting in trouble.
Right. Well, and I guess that's yes, I agree. It's also just having binoculars with atmospherics or a Kestrel or these devices that we competitive shooters love.
Yes.
That's my whole point. But this is a whole new level.
So you've told me some stories about times when sniper matches with this and how it's compared.
Yeah.
Where do you think the best application for our product is?
I mean, if I had a couple more zeros in my bank account, I'd have them on everything because why not? But yeah, and you guys can look at the website. They're not a free item quite, not even close. But I think yes, sniper matches, wonderful. And I've never shot a hunter match. I'd like to.
We got to get you out to one.
I know, and I think what's really pulling me to the sniper matches is the team aspect. It's so fun to have the communication, the teamwork. Hunter and I shot one this 5 days ago.
Yeah.
5 and 6 days ago, I guess. Yeah. It was so much dang fun because we learned a lot because we're not really used to these. We've done Mammoth, but that was kind of different in a way. This is more traditional sniper match, no rucking.
Yes.
We're very little, yes. But we had stages where there was a lot of teamwork involved and, everything's unknown. We kind of deciphered it because they said, outside of 800, it's a full-size IPSC, inside 800 is a 66%. So they say targets are 800, or their targets are full IPSC. We're like, oh, here we go. It's a long one. Yeah. So we knew it was 800 plus. But, I mean, it's just there's something so magical, and my customers all have experience. I bring them out as much as I can to show them this. But when you see a target, you have no idea the distance. You put the crosshair on it, you push a button, it says what to dial, you dial, and you hit it.
It's magic. I'm convinced. I'm 100% convinced that the man up at Masttec, wizards.
Yeah,
every single one of them wizards.
Yeah.
But it's not literally this. But I joke a lot with people like, isn't this boring? Yeah. No, it's not at all.
It's not when you're at wind.
But if you right. Good point. There's always a wind. But it's people like the pursuit sometimes. I've learned with reloading, people want to develop a load for 5 years. I found it's just be done with it. Holy crap.
Just little tweaks.
Yeah, I can test this, test that. It's 75 degrees, I can test that. But in the pursuit of just hitting what you want to hit, it's the easy button. It's so done. I mean, it's not the cheap version. But again, nothing that's expensive, nothing that's cheap is that cool. No way.
Yeah.
This is just crazy stuff. So statistics. I want to talk about that. There's some crazy stuff in there. How far can it range? How far have you ever seen it range?
Depends.
I will say
it depends on the conditions, depends on the targets, depends on a lot of stuff. And the one that I always reference because I like it, it's third party. So it's not like us pushing a magical button or doing anything. It's just, we saw Sawyer, I think he hit 1,600 or 16,000 yards.
That's crazy.
16,000 yards or 16 kilometers, something like that, which is
pretty far.
Yeah, that's a long way, So it's gonna it's going to range farther than you can shoot.
Yes.
100%.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, and it'll give you below 6,000 to 5,000, right? Is that?
Yeah, that's what
AB
Yeah,
does.
yeah, because AB ends up, anything past that, and it just says, hey, here's the range, but
hey, you're not gonna hit this.
no solution.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes farther than you need. But where that comes in handy, there's benefits, right?
Yeah.
Do you need that for shooting? No. But as soon as you get into adverse conditions, as soon as you get into fog, as soon as you get into rain, as soon as you get into snow, any of those types of situations,
that's where the 15K just like
crazy
blows everything else.
Yeah, and a lot of them will just choke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even our lower one, the 2K is not going to do as well in those environmental conditions. But the 15K being our flagship product, also the 15M, the higher powered military version, just has that strong, single pulse laser that can just punch through it, which is super cool.
When I was preparing for Mammoth, I was at a range alone with another buddy, and it was nighttime. We were talking forever, and it started just dumping rain. It was like probably the hardest rain I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, I'm going to test this real quick. So I know there's up this canyon. We're shooting kind of like beside it. I range up the canyon. I know there's a hill thousands of yards out there. I just didn't know I could range it. Well, I get on it. I'm like, I can't even see it. I'm like, okay, it's right there somewhere. I push the button. It says 7,600.
And it's not like, wait.
Just
there.
zoop.
It's button, done.
I mean, you had a good one like that. You posted, right?
Yeah, like it was like over 3 miles, like the furthest point I could see from the range. I was like, I'm going to range the very top of this.
I think it was 7.5 or 8 kilometers, something like that.
Something crazy, right? Just a crazy number. Yeah. And I specifically was like, oh, there's a tree there. It's a big skyline tree into nothing. Yeah. I went just off the tree, range, no result. Onto the tree, range, immediately. It was like 5.2 miles. I obviously didn't say miles because these are yards, but an immediate return of that distance is, with that level of accuracy, unreal.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like we all know rangefinders are liars. You buy 1,000-yard one, it's like a 600, 700-yard one. You buy 2,000-yard one, it's like a 1,200-yard
It's
one.
like, okay, it's 2,000 yards in like the perfect conditions, shooting at a barn covered in reflective markers.
This thing is crazy. I mean, it's the first time I feel like you under promise, over deliver.
Should we have called it a 30K?
Maybe. Yeah, that is more accurate. Yeah.
If you line everything just right.
My expectations are more appropriate. But at that match this weekend too, I noted that every time I pushed the button on any target, it just ranged every single time. Yeah. At Mammoth again, there's a target. They told us it was around 800 yards. And I didn't know what hill was 800 yards, so I just range, kind of just testing.
Walking up.
Well, I just started out, which is funny. Yeah. This is 3,800. That's not the hill.
Wrong hill.
But it's just like you have this crazy harnessed energy and power and features. It's just cool, so cool. So I just can't say enough good about it. But I guess the target market for this obviously is sniper match guy who just wants something cool on his gun on a bench. It's fine. Nothing wrong with that. NRL hunter, the application, if legal, actually hunting.
Yep.
Just guys chasing performance, I think, is like what you're.
Yeah, that's really the flagship product, and really the 15K versus a 2K or 15M. The 15K that's our premium.
Yeah.
Right. It's gonna do what the other rangefinders can't. It's gonna do it consistently, repeatedly. All the QC and the testing. That could be a whole separate podcast on what goes into it, but. We put these things through the ringer, and they're at that like mil spec standard, and
it's
just
every unit, not just like we test every once in a while. It's every unit gets
every unit gets
battery of tests.
Yeah, thermal cycles and
it's
shock
crazy.
Testing, actual weapon fire shock testing on every unit
with the scope killer.
Yeah, with the scar, which gets old, but
someone's got to do it.
But it's I don't know. I'm super proud of the product that we've released in the market. I think it's wonderful, and happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Real quick, we haven't really talked about. We've kind of mostly talked about the 15K because that's your flagship product, but the 2K Gen 2 is what you guys offer as an alternative option in the LRF lineup. Want to give us like a little comparison between your two products, the 2K Gen 2 and the 15K?
So a lot of the times, unfortunately, what our customers think is that I'm just paying for extra range, right? They're thinking that, maybe we've software limited something and it's the same hardware, and if you pay this much, then you get this much range, and if you pay a little more, then we're just going to turn it up and give you more range.
Right.
But
subscription, right?
yeah, subscription based, it's Tesla based.
10 cents per range.
But the reality is that the technology in the two devices is significantly different one from another, right? And that's why the price is different, right?
And you're talking specifically the laser diodes are different. Software is very similar.
Yeah, software is the same. Yeah, and even the diodes, the Viz laser, IR lasers, those are the same product or very similar. It really comes down to how we transmit the laser and then receive the signal back. The technology is different.
Yeah.
Right. In the 2K version, it's a 905 laser transmitter and receiver combo.
Or traditional rangefinder.
Yeah, and most handheld ones, and a lot of people, those are the traditional laser rangefinders that people have used in the past, right? It is visible, under night vision. It's multi-pulse, so it's sending out a variety of pulses of lasers out, and then it's receiving signals back, and then sometimes you can have that conversation of first, last, best that you see with other rangefinders. But the 905, it's a different wavelength, obviously, than the 15K. And the divergence is different on the beam, right? And I think that's one of the things that, I would hope for our customers to learn, or maybe we need to do a better job of informing people of what the beam pattern looks like.
Right.
One versus the other.
And by beam divergence, you just mean how it spreads across once you hit that laser button.
Exactly.
What actually is the laser hitting?
People typically are most familiar with laser pointers.
Like a dot.
Yeah. Cat chasing laser dot, right?
They don't work that way.
And even when you push the Viz laser on ours, you're going to get a dot. And that's because we're focusing it and turning it into a dot.
Right.
But on a 905 laser that's a ranging laser, it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's not a dot, right? And that's the big difference.
Like a shotgun, not a bullet, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's different, and that's been one of the big differences between our Gen 1 product and our Gen 2 product. And there's some content online where some people are showing those beam divergences and the beam patterns under night vision. Under night vision, so that you can kind of see it. But the 905 one, Gen 1 tended to be a fairly large oval shape, right? And it was a little bigger than we wanted it to be. But again, when you're sourcing and producing this stuff, sometimes what you can get is what you can get, right?
And then you iterate on it.
Right, and then you iterate on it. And that one specifically, we wanted to improve on that. And so when the Gen 2 came out, we shrunk that beam divergence. So instead of being, an oval shaped, it went more towards a rectangle shape. We shaved a little off the edges, shaved a little off the top, and it's
so you just get a little bit more accurate beam.
Yeah, a little more accurate beam. And the difference between going to a 905 and the beam divergence and the 15K is more like a dot.
Yeah.
It is small, it is tight, and when you put it on a target, you're going to range the target.
Yeah.
Not the background behind it.
It feels like it.
not the T-post, not the this and that. And so that's where they differ. They're going to pick up targets differently. And if you're trying to shoot skyline targets, was one of the big things of why we went from a Gen 1 to a Gen 2. Because the performance on skyline targets of a Gen 1, we wanted it better than that. So we went back and they're like, okay, how can we, get this?
Sawyer's famous video of that?
Yeah.
Which I think is super cool that you guys didn't just be like, hey, we released something that's pretty badass, we're just going to leave it. You're like, let's make it even better, more badass and even better. Like, that's super commendable.
If we can work on improving that, we're going to take the opportunity to do so. We're still a fairly small company. We're agile, and we make decisions that are going to best benefit the customer, right? But that being said, the difference between a Gen 1 and a Gen 2, beyond the beam pattern, the other thing was the performance. How quick can I get a range?
Processing speed.
That was another one of those ones where it was like, hey, we'll stack up all the competitors' product and we push them all and see who gets the range fastest.
Right.
And we weren't on the top of the end, right, with that. And so we went back to the drawing board and said, okay, what can we adjust within our unit to be able to get a faster response time? And then what ended up happening was a software release upgrade.
Mhm.
And we've talked about it a little bit in other, on our Instagram and stuff like that, but there's now power modes, right, that you
Yeah.
can use. And I don't need to go through all the power modes, but there's a performance power mode and there's a battery saver power mode, and then there's a standard
This
one.
is specifically on the Gen 2.
No,
2K.
for both.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so for
Just not
both.
the 15K.
Right. Well, they all got the software upgrades,
Okay, gotcha.
all of them. But you saw the biggest improvements in performance on the Gen 2
Right.
because of but we rolled that same software out on the Gen 1.
Yeah.
And the performance and response time on the Gen 1 jumped as well.
Yeah.
And it was related to, kind of like sleep modes.
Yeah.
Like, is the ranging laser going to go into sleep? And then when
Has
you
to
push the button, wake up,
go.
and then
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Shoots later.
Right? And
Yeah.
in your battery saving mode, right, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, that first ranging
Took a second.
It's a little
took a
slower.
second.
Yeah, makes
and
sense.
then you
Yeah.
repeat again, and
It's
that next
faster.
one's faster and
Yep.
it's faster. But so we did that software upgrade, and it benefited both models.
Right.
And I think that should be noted as well. A lot of people are like, "Oh, well, is my Gen 1 garbage now?" And it's like, no, your Gen 1's a great unit.
It's still
Lots of-
probably better than most guys even
If
need.
anyone doesn't want it, I'll take it. Yeah,
Right.
geez.
It's still a great unit, and the performance did go up with that software upgrade. The main thing that you're going to notice better is that beam divergence is better on the Gen 2 than the Gen 1.
Yeah.
But that being said, talking beam divergence on a Gen 2 2K and beam divergence on a 15K, those are two totally different things.
Yeah.
Shotgun versus a sniper.
Yeah.
rifle.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's really those 905 lasers are meant to go out and get the most
Just
reflective
feel
target.
something.
Get
Yeah.
something.
Right.
Yeah.
Get something and bring it back. This 15K is going to pinpoint it. And that's where consumers need to understand that 905 modules is it's a transmitter receiver combo. There's a lot of places where people can source those.
Right.
Similar technology. Nobody's going to source what we make in-house
Yeah.
on 15K.
It's a beautiful thing,
The
right?
15K
Made in America.
is what we do in-house up in Montana,
Yeah.
creating a receiver that's
Yeah.
next level.
We had a moment, Hunter and I driving back from Montana last weekend. I said, "Isn't it cool that we just shot a laser made in Montana?" And he took home a Montana Knife Company knife off the price table.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool. Like, it's such an American celebration. It feels like it's cool.
But the technology that goes in the 15K, you have that different wavelength transmitter. It's 1535.
Mhm.
It's invisible to night vision. It's they call it a diode pumped single pulse laser. It's shooting out one pulse, one
Yeah.
high power pulse.
And
Sniper
get-
And then
back.
we have this hypersensitive receiver module that we create from, like, there's wafers, APDs, ASIC, wire bonding. Like, we build that receiver module from
Yeah.
scratch.
And all about this.
Yeah. But that's the secret sauce. That's why our 15K can do what it can do,
Yeah.
and we build that in house, and that's why it is.
So good.
That's why
Like
like
I
I
said,
places. Yeah.
Wizards.
Yes.
Absolute
literally.
wizards.
That's it. That's the secret sauce. Yeah. Well, I can't say enough good about this.
Me either.
And I mean, this is not meant to be a commercial. It's meant to be kind of informative. But I just I can't believe how much I like it, and I paid for it. So
Yeah.
it was not free.
Thank you. Appreciate
that.
Yeah, we need to sell those.
I think that's about a wrap. But I think I want to say thanks for being here and
Yeah,
taking a
absolutely.
second. But
Sitting down talking to
thanks
us.
to you.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks
Yeah.
for, I came into town and this was kind of impromptu.
That-
These are things that are on my mind and things that I'm hoping that consumers can be more aware of.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the opportunity
Yeah.
to share that. I think beyond that, if I could add one
Of
thing,
course, yeah.
people are dying for our plug on our remote.
Oh yeah.
This is the only thing that most people complain about. Is like, oh, why does that stick out so
You're
far?
talking the 90.
Yes, 90's coming.
90s are coming.
Wireless is coming. We've been working
Yes.
on it for a long time, but
So
those
excited.
things
Yeah.
don't just happen overnight.
Yeah.
So
But here's the thing is, you guys aren't going to put out an inferior product. You're
No.
going to make sure it gets done
no,
perfect.
the actual 90 degrees connector that comes out is fully a new product that we had to work with someone with, and it's all designed in exactly how we want it.
It's not some off-the-shelf part you can just
No.
go get.
No, to be honest,
Radio
we
Shack doesn't have them.
No, we tried to get an off-the-shelf one, and you know what was the sad part about it is that it was almost the same length out as the straight one. Yeah,
So you guys
and
really
we-
go above and above.
we looked at it and we're like, it sticks out this far with the straight, and it sticks out 80% of
Yeah.
that with
That's
the
not
90,
worth
and
it.
we're like, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
And so we designed a custom molded 90-degree plug
Right.
that's lower profile to meet that,
Which is gonna be awesome.
customer demand. And then the wireless. And the wireless is going to blow people's mind because it's super good.
Well, and I guess quickly, I don't want to take your whole night, but the radio is not Bluetooth.
No, it's ultra wideband.
It's super.
So the way
solid.
that it connects and the way that it stays connected and the battery life on the wireless is going to be
Crazy good.
it's going to be crazy good. We're super excited.
That's
about it.
always been a concern. I've not with mine because I've heard the reassurance from you, and I'll believe it too. But I think that's what people have been concerned is like, wow, does it connect right? I'm like, no, they're going to do it right.
It's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, if you've used this, you trust the company
100%.
instantly. So
Yeah.
it's such a good product. But we'll wrap it. But thanks again, Rhett. I appreciate you being
It's
here.
good to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks for making an awesome product and
Yeah.
being part of an awesome company.
Yeah, good to be a part.
Yeah,
It's been good to have you.
we'll see you at the next match.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's go shoot.
Again.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.